We are continuing our series on internet fraud, scams, and schemes. Today we're going to focus on Craigslist again. This particular one is another type of job scam, except that this one is harder to detect. I almost became a victim myself. If it wasn't for the fact that I have spider senses, I may have fallen for it. And if you don't know what spider senses are, it's you get a feel for things, you just know something's not right. And it's a really strong feeling. And there's just little indications throughout it that just tells you this isn't right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you all of the emails that were involved in this scam. I saved them all and I'm going to show you each one. And the way this whole thing started was I was looking for a job. This was about almost a year after I had lost my job. And I was making money at home in my own home businesses, but I wasn't making enough. And I was about to reach the point where I couldn't pay my mortgage anymore. So I was really concerned. So I was looking for some kind of job. And for me, the perfect job in my desperation would have been something where I didn't have to work 8 hours a day, but still earn full-time pay. And then that would allow me to continue running my businesses. So to me, that was the perfect job. But at the same time, I had to be open for what I could find. But I mentioned something in what I just said, desperation. I was desperate for work. I was running out of time, and that's the problem, and that's what these scams play off on. They play on your desperation. You're out of a job. Maybe you've been out for a year. Maybe you've been out for a few months. You're just getting really concerned. You have a family to support. You have yourself to support. You got a mortgage to pay. You got food, heat, whatever. And you're getting desperate. And so it's very easy for people who are desperate to fall for these things because they're looking for a solution quickly. And that's what happened with me. I found this job. It was a warehouse job. And they told you flat out what the pay was a week. I think it was like $480 a week or $450 a week. And that would have been perfect. That would have covered my mortgage. The rest of my bills were covered by my business. So I didn't have to worry about that. And I thought this would be great. So I sent in my resume and we then went from there. And that's what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you every email that was sent to me and all of our communication so you can see how this thing plays out. And you'll learn everything you need to know to protect yourself if this happens to you. So let's go and check this out right now. It started on October 16th, 2013. So that was a while ago, almost a year and a half ago. So the first message that comes in, this is their reply after I sent in my resume. And it looked pretty legit. And you could see here it's from the administration office, HR, the name Ethan Osborne. The email address here looks pretty legit. HR at vfcrecruits.com. Now, of course, I probably should have looked up this website, which I didn't do. So we go to the first message. And everything seems kind of legit. So this is what he says here. I acknowledged... Okay, first of all, this should have been something I picked up on. And I didn't. This isn't proper English. I acknowledged the receipt of your application via my Craigslist post. That's not proper English right there. Anyways, and I want you to know that your service is highly needed by me. Unfortunately, I am out of town at the moment on a business trip to Canada, but let me use this privilege to give you a comprehensive brief about the position. I'm the assistant director of a warehouse. Name withheld for personal reasons. Okay, right away, this is when my suspicions, right on the first email, my suspicions started to tingle. My spider senses started to tingle. Name withheld for personal reasons? You want me to work for your company, yet you're not going to tell me the name of it? That's a little strange. Then, here it gets even stranger. There won't be any personal interview. Huh, really? Before my arrival. So we're only proceeding based on trust. Apparently, I am only delegating part of my job to you, and I would appreciate you to handle it with utmost importance. So, this is the first paragraph after I set my resume. And this here, right away, to me, spider senses are going like crazy. Maybe some people wouldn't notice it. I mean, you're reading it pretty quick. You're probably not going to notice some of this. You know, it's not improper English or the way he's speaking. But maybe, and I would hope people would start to think some of these things are weird. But unfortunately, they don't. And people have fallen for this over and over and over again. And they continue to fall for this. Let's continue. Job description. You'll be working as a warehouse inspector. I've worked in warehouses and I'd never heard of a warehouse inspector. There's warehouse manager, there's shipping and receiving. If you're going to be inspecting, it's typically a product inspector. So that's a little strange right there. And your responsibilities include inspecting, testing, sampling, and sorting products or goods supplied. Okay, again, that's really not a warehouse job. So right away, this here was not written in the actual ad. The actual ad said, warehouse associate to do shipping and receiving. The supplied products are basically electronics and fabrics. Okay, again, very strange combination here. Electronics and fabrics? Okay. As for the fabrics, standards are set, which must be strictly adhered to. All you need, okay, again, improper English right here. All you need do is follow the instructions given to you and we are cool. Okay. Samples of the products delivered to you will be provided for easy comparison. You are to work. Now, I did a little bit of inspection work in the past, and it doesn't really work that way. You learn how the product needs to be made, and once you know that, then you need to look for the mistakes. Anyways, you are to work for just two, again, not proper. People don't speak like this. You are to work for just 2 days per week, 4 hours daily. Sweet. This is what got me here. Now, my spider senses are tingling. I'm thinking this thing can't be real. But I don't know for sure at this point in time. So I was proceeding very cautiously. But where I was at this point in time in 2013, this job would have been perfect for me. And again, there's another indication, too good to be true. Only working 2 days a week, 4 hours daily? Perfect for me. I have multiple businesses that I work that I run from home. So to be able to go in and do this and earn over here $450 a week for 8 hours of work? Sweet. That's a great job. Let me know the days that would be convenient for you. I'm offering $450 a week, and you'll be doing these for 8 weeks until I get back for us to discuss whether or not you're willing to continue working with me. Now, at this point in time, my goal would be to only work for 8 weeks and then leave the job behind. But this would have been perfect. It was exactly what I needed at that time. Basic wage is $450 a week, as mentioned earlier, and this is a 1099. And this position is 1099, which means all taxes has been placed on me with the form I signed with IRS. Mode of payment will be check, and perhaps you're interested in the offer again. I mean, I could see if someone misses a word here or there, but there's so much improper English in this whole thing. And then, of course, this here, most companies I've dealt with, real companies, they're friendly to a T, but not like this. Kindly reconfirm your details again for providing them as requested below. Now, here, all of this information here that they want, full contact address, apartment number, state, cell phone, I don't accept text messages, so you could see they wanted text. I didn't supply that. Are you above 18? Your email address, occupation. Now, I don't know if this was on my resume, I'm not sure, or if I gave them just my address here. I didn't give them everything, and I explained why. But they did have my address. Hope to hear from you soon. Regards, Ethan Osborne. It even is, look at how authentic that is, too. T-Mobile, America's First, so looks like it came right from his cell phone because he's traveling, and seems pretty legit. So we just got through going through this first message, the initial response. The next response came about 48 hours later. I don't know why exactly. But after that point, you could see it was 24 hours. And you don't see in here, in between these points. But when I was sending messages to this guy, he would take 24 hours to respond. So what didn't make sense to me about that, and it was frustrating, is the fact that he would send me a message, I would respond, and then he'd wait until 24 hours later to respond. And he kept doing it. So I thought that was strange. Now I'm going to show you my response and then his response to that. So I write back, Ethan Osborne, thank you for getting back to me. And I want you to notice some significant things here. Thank you for getting back to me. As far as the days that would be convenient for me, how about Monday and Tuesday, say 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.? Right there. I just gave him the days and the times that I'm available. Now, those days would work great for me for the 8 weeks. Very important question I asked there. Does your facility have parking such as an on-site parking lot? Very important because this job is supposedly located in the city, pretty close to me, and this particular city, I won't name it, does not have a lot of parking. I drive a big truck, and it's very difficult for me to park there. Not only that, one of the reasons why I want to work at this point in time is because there is some road issues, major project going on that causes traffic problems. So this is the best time for me to get through. Not early in the morning, and then I'd be late all the time. So this is a good time frame. So that's why I asked for this time. Finally, on the bottom here, currently I'm self-employed, so if you want to hire me, I can start on Monday. The 8 weeks sounds good. I want you to notice the green highlighted message. This is exactly how it was sent. Please note, no text messages, please. I get charged per text and can't afford an increase in my bill for a while. So I was very clear on that. I highlighted it in green to make sure that was mentioned, that he could clearly see it. Now let me show you his response. Michael. I hate being called that, by the way. Not that there's anything wrong with the name, but I like to be known as Mike. Anyways, as they say, punctuality is the soul of business. Now, listen for the improper English that's going to come up. I believe promptness is key if any business is to succeed. Hey, that kind of rhymes. I want to thank you for your prompt response, and after much consideration, I have decided to put you on the job. I look forward to having a good work relationship as time goes on, and I hope I won't be disappointed. Work will commence this coming week, but in the meantime, I have made plans ahead for you to get funds on time and in other not to be behind schedule as well. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty badly written sentence right there. He did pretty good until he got to this point, but that's pretty bad. Once again, I look forward to an awesome experience together, and I'll email you what time you'll be needed as well. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Sincerely, Ethan Osborne. We continue down here, and I just showed you what my message was. And what does he ask over here? Please, how often do you check your email? In case I decided to text you, do you get charged for receiving text messages? I await your response. What this is telling me, and was telling me at this point in time, is this dude was not reading my emails. He just wanted my address. And I'll tell you why in a moment. You're going to see why. That's all it was. He wasn't reading anything I had to say. Because did he answer any of my questions here? Did he answer the question I had about parking? No. Did he pay attention to what I said about text messages? No. Did he mention anything about the times that I said I would like to work? No. He goes, I'll email you at what times you'll be needed. Just completely ignored me. His message doesn't even fit with my last message. I believe that these messages, for the most part, are pre-written. Copy and paste. And I'm going to show you why I believe that in the next email, which I think you're going to see what I'm talking about. I think these are the same message they send everybody. Again, I sent a new message, so we will go to that first. Here's my message. This is my response to his last message here. Ethan, thanks. I appreciate you choosing me for the job. By the way, I didn't even mention that in the last message. Don't you think it's a little weird that the guy was going to hire me without a job interview? Without ever really getting to know who I was? Without talking to me, even on the phone? Just through an email, he's like, I'm hiring you? That's when I knew something wasn't right. And by this point in time, my heart is telling me this is a fake job. However, and this is why so many people fall for this, at the time, I was in a bad place. I was desperate for work. I couldn't pay my mortgage anymore. I wasn't paying my credit cards. I needed a solution, and this sounded like one. So I didn't want to believe that this really was a scam. So let me read you my response to his last message. Ethan, thanks. I appreciate you choosing me for the job. To answer your question, I do get charged for texting, and right now I can't afford any extra charges on my phone. I do check my emails often. My self-employment work is mostly online. I do not have portable access to my email, such as a tablet or through my phone, but I do work mostly online from home. Therefore, I check my messages often and have regular access to them. I had asked you a few questions in my previous email that I'm hoping you can answer for me. First one has to do with parking. Does your facility have on-site parking? Also, if I'm going to be working for you, I would like to know where you are located. Wherein is the facility? This would be very helpful. This would be very helpful info for me, as I will be scheduling my time between this job and my self-employment work. Finally, in your last message, you asked me about what time and days I would like to work. I had mentioned Mondays and Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Are those good for you? I picked Monday and Tuesday because the upcoming holiday season wouldn't affect those days. Because this is 2 days a week and 4 hours per day, I will need to make sure I have a consistent schedule so that I continue to do other work as well. I have a mortgage and other bills, so I hope you understand in my need for consistency. If that doesn't work for you, please let me know, and we will see what we can come up with. This is his response. And as I told you before, I believe that all of his messages are copy and paste, that they're already written. This time, because now, they're trying to scam me here, and I'm getting a little frustrated, and they're probably concerned that they're going to lose me. So this time they actually personally write a response. Okay, that's good to know. And how are you doing today? Like I mentioned yesterday, that I'll make arrangements ahead to get funds to you for your work this coming week. I'm glad to inform you that you'll be receiving a mail check from Jeffrey Peterman, and it will be delivered via U.S. Postal Service today. Please be on the lookout for it, and I'll have the tracking number emailed to you before the end of today. The funds check you will receive include your weekly income and funds to execute your tasks to get goods shipped and inspected at the warehouse. I hope you understand. Kindly shoot me an email the minute you receive it in the mail. Ethan. P.S. I will let you know what day and time you'll be working this coming week, and there's free parking at the warehouse location. Okay, again, let's just start at the bottom here. I told him that I need consistent times and days to work because I have my own business. Again, ignores that. Second, did he answer any of my questions here? No. None of my questions. All he says here, free parking at the warehouse location. Second, I was a warehouse manager. I did it for 8 years. And not only that, I did shipping and receiving for going on 14 years now. I still do it from home. I did it in a warehouse. I did it in a factory. I know how it works. The shipper doesn't pay for anything. This here, pay, I'm getting funds to execute my task and get goods shipped and inspected? Doesn't work that way. You pay me for my time, but I don't go and buy shipping supplies with money they're getting. They should have all that. Didn't make sense to me at that point in time. Okay, so now this is my response to his last message. That sounds great, Ethan. I really appreciate that. I don't want to be a bother here, but I really should know what company I'll be working for and your location. I've been working since I was 14, and just to be honest and upfront with you, it seems funny to me that you're keeping this a secret. I do have my suspicions when it comes to Craigslist, which I'm sure you understand by the many things that have gone on with them in the past. So it would be a huge help to me if I knew the name of your company and where you are located. Please kindly get back to me as soon as you receive this and let me know. So at this point in time, I know it's a scam. But that little part of me, that desperate part of me, is still hoping it's not. That the next message he sends me has truth in it. But 99% of me already knows this is fake. Here's his response. Again, notice. No answer. Okay, Mike. The warehouse is a few miles from you, and have you received the mail yet? Here's the tracking number. Kindly email me back with an update. He didn't answer a damn thing, did he? Didn't tell me the name of the warehouse. Didn't tell me where he's located. Didn't tell me the hours. All secretive. As soon as this message came in, I'm like, this is total BS. This is total BS. So here's something I wanted to point out. Okay, this is something important. When it came down to the check, suddenly he was very available. The rest of the time he'd wait 24 hours because, as I told you, I believe he was copy and pasting the messages. He wasn't reading my emails. He already had these automated messages and he was just copying and pasting them, or if there were multiple people doing this. But when it came to the check, it was a back and forth conversation suddenly. He was suddenly available. So this was my message before the check arrived. This is the same day, right after his last message to me. And this is what I wrote. Hi, Ethan. I will let you know when it arrives. According to tracking, it looks like today. Now to my questions that I've been asking you. I really need to know who I'm working for. I'm really confused as to why you are keeping it a secret. I understand why you can't do a job interview because you're away on business, but whenever I have gone into a company, they would tell me what they do and who they are. I would get a little history of the company and a tour. And it goes on. So I'm getting aggravated here, asking the same questions over and over again. I'm trying to remember back to this Saturday, but I think I still have this little bit of optimism. Even though I think that this thing is fake, I'm still trying to believe it's not. When the check arrived, it was sent from someone on the other side of the country. The company that it was sent from was actually a doctor who makes artificial limbs for people. And then I'm starting to think, like, why would someone hire me without meeting me to do something as important as that? These are body parts. These are devices that help people, that help amputees. You don't just go and throw some guy from the street that you never met before, who's never done it before and has no experience doing that, and just throw them in there for 8 weeks and say, hey, go do this. I mean, this is something that people are going to rely on as part of their life. And not only that, the size of the check. I mean, it was something like $4,000 or $5,000. It was a lot of money. And I knew right away. As soon as I opened it, I'm like, this is BS. So before I responded, I went and did my research, because now that I had more information, I had more names, company names. I went and did research and found out that this indeed is a scam, and that this Ethan Osborne, he'll spell his name differently at times, but the fact is that this is a common scam. So now I'm going to play a little bit. I want to see how he reacts to what I say here. Ethan, the U.S. Postal Service delivered the check today. I have not cashed it or deposited it. I will wait until I hear back from you in regards to my questions posed to you in my previous email. Thank you. So what I'm telling him now is basically, I hold the check hostage until you answer all of my questions. And that's what I was going to do. Again, totally ignores me. Okay, Mike, the check funds you receive covers your pay for the week and funds to execute your task. I hope you understand, it is meant for the expenses of work to be done as well as your salary for the week. Just go ahead and have it cashed. Again, here's another sign right here. But if your bank advises that you deposit it, then have it deposited for clearance process to be done by your bank. Funds should be available in your account under 24 hours, if not instantly. So this is just strange in itself here, because I can just go take any check and deposit. This shouldn't be a problem. Unless, of course, it's fake. After depositing the check, find out what amount was made available. Again, that's just not normal. I don't even understand his reasoning here. If I go put $5,000 into my checking account, $5,000 should be in my checking account when it clears. When the remaining balance would be available, and then get that information across to me immediately. As soon as I hear from you, I'd be able to advise you with more information on what is to be done. P.S. Let me know. Again, look at this. Again. Let me know what days as well as time you'll be able to work this week. I have told him 4 times now. Monday and Tuesdays. Over and over again. Just about every message. He continues to ignore it because he doesn't read the messages. So, I've had enough. I know this is a scam now. Now I'm going to just play with the son of a bitch to see his reaction. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to pretend I cashed the check. But I wasn't that stupid. There was no way in hell I was going to cash that check. I knew it was fake. And no way. So from there, we had a back and forth that was pretty brief. I just stated, oh yeah, I cashed the check. I'm all ready to get to work. They write back excited, oh, excellent. Wait for our instructions. Finally, I ended the whole thing by saying that they're evil. They're going to burn in hell for doing this. That I caught them. I know this is a fraud and they should be ashamed of themselves. And that was it. Of course, they never responded. A real business owner would want to defend their honor and say, we are the real deal. How dare you insult me and my company? I was willing to hire you, whatever. But that didn't happen. They disappeared. They were never heard from again. And this scam is common. It goes on a lot. As a matter of fact, the name Ethan Osborne was used in a lot of these scams. I know the video is a bit lengthy, but I wanted to show you the proof of what happens and how this whole thing plays out. Every indication of the scam is there. First of all, can't speak proper English or can't write well. You know, any kind of company who is hiring someone, they're going to try to be as professional as possible. They'll probably reread their message or even have an office administrator do it. Second, they're not going to hire you without a job interview, without looking at your resume, without bringing you in. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. 3, they're going to answer your questions. They're not going to be quiet about the company that they are. They're proud of their company. So why would they not mention it? Why would they be so secretive? If they're secretive and not answering your questions, big red flag. Obviously, from what I showed you, they weren't even reading my messages. None of my messages. And finally, the check. No brick and mortar job is going to send a check to you in the mail. You didn't work for them yet. You weren't hired. You didn't go for a job interview. They're not just going to randomly send you a big giant check. They sent me a check for like $6,000. It's not going to happen. It's fake. It's not a real check. It's fake. And sadly, and I've seen this online in my research, way too many people still say, even when they're being told it's a scam, yeah, but it looks real, so I'm going to cash it because, hey, what's the worst that happens? I become $6,000 richer. No, you can go to jail. You could have money taken out of your bank account and be wiped out. A lot of bad things could go on. Your identity will be stolen. Don't do it. Period. Don't do it. I will see you in part 3 as we cover another scam.